Hello everyone, it's Brittney from the Pretty Plus. Sorry about the weird angle, but I'm in my break room at work on my lunch. So I wanted to come in today to talk a little bit more about my no-buy year. I'm still participating in the no-buy 2020 challenge that I had set out, and I thought that it would be a good idea to share with you my rules. And the reason I even thought of this is because the other day my husband and I were going to dinner, I think lunch, I don't remember, and I told him I was going to purchase his sub, and because we using personal money, and he was like, are you sure you can do that? Isn't that like against your no buy? And I kind of razzed him for saying that a little bit, but then I realized I hadn't really defined it to everyone else, even though I had made the rules for myself. So I thought it would be helpful to share rules with you. If it's something that you're considering doing, a no buy year, a no buy month, a no buy quarter, whatever it may be, these are my rules, but I do want you to remember that the rules that I've set up are for myself. They're for my own goals. So if you have different goals, different things that you purchase or trigger you to purchase, then it'll obviously be different than what I have set up. For me, and what I'm focusing on this year is contentment and using what I have. So mine is all focused on all the clothes and fashion accessories I have. I have plenty. I like them. So I'm going to focus on using what I have. But yours may be that you're trying to save money, so you're not going to have some of the allowances that I've given myself, like getting my nails done and things like that, because you're just trying to cut back on money instead of focus on something else. So with that being said, and without talking with my hands too much, I'm going to just get right into it. Split it into 3 different parts. The first part is things I cannot buy with my money. The second is things that are okay to buy with my money. And the third is exceptions or explanations as well. I have a blog post that goes along with this that has all these things listed out, so you can see them if you're kind of a visual person or you want to print them out to like work with yourself. Yeah, or I'll make a printable. I'll make a printable and include it in there if you're wanting to like workshop the things that you cannot, or exceptions, explanations, whatever. So I'm gonna get started. Things I cannot buy with my money: clothing, shoes, accessories. Those are all 3 that I've mentioned a lot because I have an abundance of clothing, shoes, and accessories. Last year, I think that I went on kind of a spree with purchasing shoes, which is fine. My husband first, and then I got into purchasing sneakers, which are still really fun, but I found that I still like to wear the same few pair and styles, and that unless something crazy comes along that I'm like, yes, this is the style I like, this is the color I really want, then there's no need for me to purchase more at this point. And as a matter of fact, I'm working on getting rid of a lot of the ones that I already have, so I put those on Poshmark. Clothing, I kind of went through a transformation between like 2018, 2019, where I decided that I wanted to focus on quality and sustainability over fast fashion, and I have things now that I wear that are very classic. They work for a lot of different things. I can style them up, I can dress them down, but they are not as pocket friendly as some just buying a t-shirt from Forever 21 might be. So I have these amazing items and I want to use them. So that's where I stand on that. And then accessories, I really have had a huge thing for Miss Soma over the last few years, and I have one of their bracelets on right now. This was the last thing I purchased from them before the year was up. I did do a little spending before the year was up, and if you'd like to see the things that I purchased as a last minute freak out before I started my no buy, then I will gladly do a video like that for you. But yeah, I don't need any more. I have some classic bracelets, some nice necklaces, and right now I'm good. So then that leaves makeup and skincare. I have so much makeup and skincare. There are a few staples that go into like the things that are okay to buy with my money, but for the most part I don't need another blush for probably ever. I definitely don't need eyeshadow. I hardly ever wear it, and if I do, it's like the same look over and over. There are just so many things like that that I don't need, and I am lucky enough to be a blogger, an influencer if you will, that I get things sent to me from brands, and I really don't need to purchase any because I can always try out something new. And if there is something that I swear by that I have to use, that is something that falls into a replacement. And while I would try other things first, if none of those things work, then I'm okay with repurchasing something that I know works for me and my life. So then the other things are home decor, Starbucks drinks, and unnecessary solo dining. Home decor, pretty easy to do. I don't really buy that much home decor. Sometimes I'll get antsy and want to buy like a pillow or something, but I really don't need to. So that should be the easiest of all of them, to be honest. Starbucks drinks can be pretty hard. I love the convenience of stopping through Starbucks, but I did find that one of the main reasons I was stopping is because I like their breakfast sandwiches. So that falls into unnecessary solo dining. It also comes up later with an exception, but for the most part, and so far, I'm not spending my own money on Starbucks this year. Just not gonna do it. Not the drinks. If I am running somewhere and I need breakfast last minute, I'm not going to stop into McDonald's just to get a sandwich there when I know that I love the ones from Starbucks. I'll just get a water or bring my own coffee and it should be fine. But yeah, if I'm not doing Starbucks this year. I'm not purchasing their drinks, and that is that. And then unnecessary solo dining. Sometimes I'll just be out and I could go home and get something, or I'm on my way home and I just stop and like pick up Wendy's or something, and that seems really unnecessary to me. I'm sure if I tallied it up, I would see that I was spending so much money on unnecessary solo dining that I just wanted to stop that. So it's something on my things I cannot buy with my money. But that doesn't mean that there may be some time that I have a short window of time to get some food. I'm not near my house. I don't have something packed that I'll have to do it. But again, being mindful of the things that I'm doing. If I absolutely have to, I will. But if I can help it, I will not. So just unnecessary solo dining is something I'm not buying. So now that we got the things I cannot buy out of the way, we can go to the things that I'm okay to buy. So the first thing, necessary replacements. I have one white t-shirt that I love, and if that white t-shirt gets a hole in it, gets a stain on it, something like that, then I'll need to replace it. I know the brand that I want to replace it with. You guys probably know as well, Universal Standard. So if I need a new one, I'm okay with replacing it. I may make it stretch and be like, you know, it's winter right now, I got a stain on it, I can do with a black t-shirt, and then come summer I may want the white one, but we'll just see how it goes. I also know that I have a few of those white t-shirts right now, and they may have a little discoloration on them, but they work really well. And then I just got a new one when they had their sale Black Friday, and I should be good for a while. But things like that, necessary replacements, things like my concealer that I use it for my whole face, like with a beauty blender if I need that. Mascara, if I'm totally out of the one kind that I get, then I will replace it if it's necessary. Anything if given in a gift card form. So for Valentine's Day, if my mom or someone gives me a Starbucks gift card, or if I like win one at work or something, I'm okay with using that Starbucks gift card to get something that I wouldn't use my own money to purchase. That's, yeah, if I'm given a gift card. And then for like, if I'm happen to be given a gift card for like, I don't know, like Macy's or something, I'm not going to just go on a Macy's spree right then just because I have a gift card. But if it can help me when I'm going to buy a replacement, or if I've been really thinking about an item that I want to purchase, then I will go ahead and do that. However, again, not going to just go on a spree and just buy something just because I have the gift card. But if I happen to get a gift card, then I feel okay with using it because it's not coming out of my own money. The other thing, and this one can be confusing and really is a blogger type of thing, is purchases in collaboration with sponsored content that will be reimbursed or paid for. So if I'm doing a sponsored post, say I have one coming up with Vaseline, if their part of their post was pay me to go get the product, to do the shopping process, then I'm fine with doing that as long as I'm being reimbursed, obviously, or being paid. I'm not just going to be like, hey, I want to collaborate with this brand and hopefully they'll like it and pay me later. That's not how I work anyway, but so yeah, purchases in collaboration with sponsored posts. And then the other one is overage on allowances given by blog collaborations within reason. So I work with a few different brands who give me like a gift card and they say, okay, you can use this gift card by this time, and you know, whatever you can't get with this gift card, you'll either have to pay the overage or not get something. One of them is a local boutique that I work with, Shop Gina Celeste. I'll link her below. Love her shop. She gives me a gift card, and if I need to go over that gift card, I'm not going to feel bad about it because, first of all, supporting a local brand. Second of all, I'm only going to be purchasing things that I love from her, and if my gift card has to be, you know, not fully used, that's okay. There's no point in purchasing things from her, even with the gift card she's giving me, to get things that I don't prefer. And so if for some reason there are like 2 or 3 things from her collection that I really love and the gift card doesn't cover like $20 or something, I will think about it really good and decide, can I cut one of these things out? Will I be fine, or do I love them all and want to help promote them with her? I think it'll balance itself out throughout the year, but if, yeah, I'm okay with overages on allowances given from a brand as long as it makes sense for me and for the brand. Dining out or experiences with others, I'm not stopping dining out at all, or like if my family wants to go or a friend wants to go like putt-putting, I'm okay with spending that money. Buying experiences is something I'm not going to stop doing because I think that is the zest of life. Another thing with experiences in mind is like I've been looking into more libraries than just the one in my town, and if I have to pay like a fee to be able to go to one of those libraries for the year, I've considered doing that as well, just because I'm trying not to purchase books and bring those all into my house permanently. But if there's a fee that goes to the public good, then I'm okay with it. Let's see, other things. I feel like I have a long list of things that I'm okay with buying, but hey, it's good to have the rules set out in front of you. Items for resale, and I'm saying for this one, quick turnaround only. So my husband got me into buying and reselling sneakers. Sometimes you can buy a pair of sneakers for like $140 to $160 and resell them for upwards of $1,500, as long as I've been using that to like pay for things, and as long as I'm not purchasing them to come to me to stay at my house to make a permanent residence, then I'm okay with that. And even better if I can purchase it in a size that's not mine, but sometimes it's just habit and I go for my own size, but then that's kind of like where I'm like, oh, I want to keep this, but I'm not keeping it. So only for quick turnaround resale am I okay with doing that. That's kind of a business thing and not like a, oh, I'm keeping this pair of shoes thing. Another thing is if I'm buying an item for 100% charity. Not the things where it's like 10% of this goes to this charity. I'd rather just donate like $5 or something, because it's just how I operate, my brain operates. But if, say, a friend is having like a sale of their clothes and every like 100% of the sale goes to a charity that they're choosing to promote, if it makes sense for me and I want to help promote that charity or help my friend hit a goal, I'm okay with it, but I haven't seen a ton of friends doing that in my size lately anyway, but if something like that happens, I'm okay with it. And then self-care. I'm still okay with doing some purchasing for self-care. Like I mentioned, mani-pedi, eyebrows, massage. I don't want to get into a habit of replacing purchasing things with replacing it with like getting manicures. So I said 6 to 8 times per year. This is likely, like, I don't get my brows done a ton, so I'm likely to do that like 4 times a year. Nails, I'd say that's probably the one I do like 6 to 8 times a year. Pedicures, maybe 1 to 2 times a year. And a massage, I could really only see myself doing that like once a year, if that. But it is good to work in self-care, and if I can see that if I stop buying things, that buying self-care becomes less of a task, like less of an ask even from my bank account, because the money is there instead of being like on my shelf, then it will be good for me to see and hopefully keep that trend up and spending money on bettering myself, making my mind more clear and work better and feel better about myself. Then I'll be happier than a new pair of shoes that I wear one time and then have no use for. Long one. So the last thing is exceptions and explanations. So when I'm talking about all of these things, I'm talking about what I can or cannot buy with my money. That means my personal money, not my joint bank account with my husband, because I am not holding my husband to these same standards, and there are things that we need for the home or gifts and things like that that we're going to purchase that it's just gonna happen. I'm not going to make my whole family stop spending everything. So when I'm talking about all this stuff, I'm talking about my money, personal money, blog revenue, allowances, things like that that come in. That's what I'm talking about here. My husband and I keep our fun money, personal money, separate from the bank account. And then I'd say the same holds true for the rest of the things that I said for our joint budget, with the following exceptions. We purchased a mattress, which we definitely needed. Ours was pretty old and we needed a bigger size, so we went for a king size. We did that purchase this month. We will be purchasing new phones in May. We're currently operating on, I think, iPhone 8, which wouldn't be a huge issue. My screen is cracked and I've had it cracked for probably, I don't know, 6 months maybe. It's been a long time. And it really doesn't even bother me anymore. I just have a screen protector over it. But in May, we are getting new phones. My husband has just the 8 without the plus, and it's noticeably slower. I'm just noticing that I need a better quality camera than what my 8 offers me. And yeah, I don't really have to explain it. We're just purchasing new phones, so that's something that we're going to be doing. So items that we need for Clara. I can say I'm not going to get new clothes and, you know, walk around pulling my pants up all day or belting it so that they fit if something happens where I lose some weight or something. If I get a hole in something, I just wear something else. I'm not going to be growing or shrinking that many sizes within a year, but Clara's different. She should be growing and changing in seasons and all that stuff. She's a tiny girl. So if she needs new clothes or shoes or whatever she may need, we're going to purchase it. We're going to be mindful of that no spend. I'm not going to just be like, oh, this is such a cute shirt, I'm gonna have to get it for her. But I'm also not going to be like, I don't know, like really strict about not buying her anything because she's a baby and we have an allowance for her and we can spend some money on her if we want, but usually for the most part it'll be because she's growing out of something, needs something like that. And then the last thing is sentimental items. I need to get photos printed for our books just because I'm really scared about the fact that at any time my hard drive could give out on me. My phone could just totally break and I could never get these photos back. and I think that printing them off, even though I have them backed up in a few different places, is going to be the best way to preserve our family's memories. So I want to get all that sentimental item stuff printed, and then get on to like a habit of having all of the photos printed like every 6 months or so, so that we don't just all of a sudden have some sort of huge gap in our lives where we don't have any photos except for like what's on my Instagram or something. That would be lame, because the best parts of my life aren't on Instagram. They are just like fun, blurry photos of my kid or my husband, and I yeah, sentimentally need to get those things done, and I need to also finish Clara's baby book. So those are some things that I wanted to do. Yeah, that is the end of my no spend rules for 2020. I think that I laid them out pretty well and was very explanatory of them, but if you have questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Let me know, are you doing a no spend year, or are you gonna try a no spend month? I think that'd be interesting to know. I am still pretty excited about things. There have been things that I've wanted to buy, and I've just been writing them down when it's something that I'm like, oh my gosh, get my credit card. Instead of getting my credit card, I grab my notebook and I write it down. Yeah, 2020 things I've wanted to purchase but didn't. So I have a list of them already. I just think that's interesting, and I can come back and look at it and see, like, is that even something I still want? Nope, cross it out. Or is it something at the end, like at the end of the year, or when I get like gift cards, or when people are asking me for ideas for gifts, I have this and I come back to it. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You can always find me on the internet at The Pretty Plus on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. As always, on theprettyplus.com. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.